Dump it again.
Oh no, no!
And again.
Bonjour, gentlemen.
Lord Bogdanov, CRAB-19 was a stunning success.
Ce Swinver du Lumber t'impressionne. Ta crabe se vendit, moi sourire. Mr. Rothschild.
Forgive me, my lord.
Continue with the plan. Do not disappoint me. And garnish his richesse. Mr. McDonald.
I'm loving it.
Good. Citrouille.
In the year 2028, one Big Mac will equal $1 million. From the Gospel of John McAfee. Bro, just learn to code. The Project Frida Podcast.
Boom. Welcome to the Project Freedom Podcast, where we discuss CRAB-19. What's up, guys? How are y'all doing? Hopefully everyone's having a lovely, lovely day. Let me check up with the chat. Sam Perchinsky says, Sam saying yes sticker. Yes. Yes. Wade Emery says, crab free. I hope indeed that we are all crab free. Christian Soto, cowboy emojis in the chat. Yeehaw. Yes. Sam Perchinsky. Production value is bullish. Thank you, Sam. Nick Sledging says, need one of those MCD's hats. What do you mean, Nick? What kind of hat is that? Cody Moose in the Hoos says, sheesh, y'all ready for lockdown part 2 or 3 or whatever we're on now? Man, I probably shouldn't even say LOCKDOWN. I think that's probably that would probably trigger the algorithm. But gentlemen, tonight we're going to discuss CRAB-19 Stage 2. So you saw that video I posted in the beginning of the stream. And if not, we can probably play it later on for someone else to come in later. McDonald's hats? Okay, Nick. All right. Yeah, good idea, dude. I need to get one of those. Actually, I have a funny picture to show you guys. It's about that as well. Somebody don't let me forget to somebody remind me. Don't let me forget to show the Michael Saylor McDonald's picture. But all right, guys. All right, shh. Time to get serious. Woo-saw. CRAB-19 Stage 2. All right, guys. So that video that I played in the beginning, prior to the intro video, that was a video from an old YouTube channel from the name Bizonacci. All right. And some of you guys might be woke on that channel. That channel basically came around during the 2017 bull run, and they had a plethora of very meme-ish videos on there. And it's funny because they were jokes and they were memes, but pretty much everything in those videos has played out to be true, because in retrospect to at least the cryptocurrency market currently, it's repeating the exact same process and or cycle one could consider from that previous bull run, right? And why is that? Well, I mean, obviously, guys, we know there's a lot of manipulation in the cryptocurrency markets, right? I don't think it takes a brain scientist or a rocket scientist or a brain surgeon or whatever you guys think is the apex high IQ work position or whatever. It doesn't take someone like that to be able to figure out that there's some kind of fuckery going on, right? And obviously, in comparison to like traditional financial markets, yeah, they're also heavily manipulated too, right? But what makes the cryptocurrency market so different? Two things, all right? And we're gonna go through a lot of stuff tonight. Gonna try to make the stream as express and to the point as possible, but I have a lot to talk about this, and we're basically I'm gonna try to label these things into one of these two categories. So let's just talk about these two things right off the bat. Number one, the reason for the manipulation is, I believe that there are powers that be in the traditional financial world that just simply do not want people to even really know that cryptocurrency exists, let alone know that it's a good thing, let alone know that this technology has been created to literally change people's lives for the better, right? And we're gonna talk about all that stuff too, all right? And then number two is because number two ties in with number one, all right? And guys, I keep forgetting my fucking tinfoil hat, all right? But all right, just pretend we're putting it on tinfoil hat. Number two, okay, and I have to say this without laughing because it is kind of tinfoil hatty, but other than the fact that they obviously don't want people to know that this stuff exists, I believe that the traditional financial system, the powers that be, the people on the picture of the thumbnail of this video, and that's not all of them. That's just, I mean, and that might not even be any of them, all right? We don't even know. I mean, they could just be pink, purple, polka dotted dinosaurs for all we know, right? I believe that everything that is going on in the world right now, and everything that has been going on in the world for the last, I don't know, let's just say since September 2019, all right? And then this really goes back even way further than that, but we're just trying to keep it in as close of a scope to what's relevant right now as possible. I think everything that's happened in the world, and I'm not just talking about the financial world, all right? Everything that's happened in the world, period, since that time period, is a ruse for these people to be able to try to, quote unquote, reset and fix their awfully engineered, failing financial system, all right? And we're going to talk about some reasons why today, all right? So, has anyone read the news lately? Hopefully you guys aren't reading too much news, because honestly, you guys remember my previous stream when I pulled up CNN's website, and we just went and we just looked at their homepage and asked you guys, how did it make you feel? Without even trying to read anything, just simply looking up their homepage. It's very negative to look at the news, right? It's very negative. It's full of negativity. But anyone that hasn't been living underneath a rock knows what's going on right now, right? There is the KOOF, the KOOF, the CRAB-19, VIRUS is going around. Everyone's getting the jab. Everyone's getting the Fauci juice, as Andrew from Legal Mindsets YouTube channel would say. And there's all kinds of pandemonium going on as well, right? It's almost like everybody is going crazy, right? A lot of things that are going on just simply don't make sense. And I believe that if you can just simply take a step back and look down on the situation from a third point of view, or maybe just externally, and you just simply follow the money, you can kind of get an idea of what is actually going on. So let me get caught up with the chat again real quick, because we got some people coming in here talking about some stuff. So let's see. Sam Pertinsky says lockdown 6, INFECTI. I probably shouldn't say that word either. Isn't it a shame, guys? We got to be afraid. I have to be afraid to like say certain words to trick the algorithm. McDonald's hats. McDonald's hats, ELP merch. Yeah, guys. eliveprogram.com. We're going to sell McDonald's hats. Nick Sledgen says, I did not expect them to try and draw out the PANDEMIC past 2 summers. I mean, okay, we're going to talk about that, Nick, but I did. All right. I don't know if there's anyone in the chat who I've spoken to personally about this, but for example, like the guys who are in developer direction and currently looking for jobs or working in a job, pretty much I think everybody in that group right now, everyone's remote, right? Everyone's working from home, especially if you're a software engineer, you're a developer, you're an IT. And I had guys who were looking to get into, prior to getting into their current jobs, when they were going through interview process, they were like, hey, am I going to be able to like get a remote job? And we actually did a fair amount of research, and it was hard to just find jobs in that field that weren't remote, right? And a lot of people, including companies like Apple guys, because, you know, we got a guy in Apple, and he just today, it was either today or yesterday, he said that so originally they were planning to bring all the Apple people back in the office in the end of July, right? And it was supposed to be, and I'm not sure this is all of Apple, this is just his department. And it was supposed to be, okay, you can work from home Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then you're going to be able to come in the office Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It was supposed to be a hybrid work from home. And I was like, dude, they're not, I was like, I promise you, just you wait and see. I bet you you're just going to be home forever. And instead of just saying that we're going to come in at X another time, they're just going to say, okay. Or instead of just telling you guys that you never come back to the office, that it's just work from home forever, they're just going to say, oh, we're just going to push it back another 2 weeks, push it back another 2 weeks, push it back another 2 weeks. And I've had a couple guys who've had that exact same situation. And that happened to my company as well. That happened to plenty of companies. And I obviously, like, I think it's easier to deal with people to tell them like, hey, we're just going to kick the can down the road than to just tell them the truth, which is like, hey, we're not coming back. Because I'm fairly certain most people high up in companies know that they're not really coming back, right? Not that the companies are failing in business, but overall, guys, it only makes sense to work from home if you have the ability to do so, right? Being realistic with you. Now, do they want you to work from home? No, I don't think most of these places don't want people to work from home. So there's been some pushback on it, but back to what Nick said in this comment right here, dude, they're going to draw this out as long as they can because they didn't get what they wanted. Okay. And what do I mean by that? We're gonna discuss that, and it's gonna be hard for me to like explain all this stuff without having to like trigger the algorithm. But okay, just bear with me, guys. All right. And the Nick Sledge says the Spanish flu only lasted 2 summers. Yeah. Antonio, what is up, my friend? Christian Soto's is lizards. Yeah, the lizard people. Hey, Christian, we should add a lizard people sticker to the Telegram sticker chat. Sam says we get to be in on the ground floor of this channel. Yes, guys, thank you very much. Hopefully my camera can focus now. Thank you very much for participating. I love you guys all very, very much. Cody Mouse says, we're talking about the secret bagel people, right? Hey, Cody, you be nice. Don't forget, I'm a quarter of one of those people, okay? And Sam Perchinsky in here is a whole one of those people. We get to be, oh, no, Sam said that already. Rano Keeves, what's up, man? Fauci, ouchie. Yes, indeed. Fauci juice. Did you guys get your Fauci juices? I know personally, I take a plethora of Fauci juices every day. You know, I'm doing the Morgan & Morgan and the Johnson & Johnson. I take about like 10 Morgan & Morgan Fauci juices every day just because, you know, I'm just trying to do my due diligence. I know it's probably not the best thing or the safest thing, but hey, you know, we got to do what we got to do. Nick Sledgian, the pandemonium is out of control. Yeah, it really is. And I'm not just talking about here in the United States, which is where I'm at, obviously. Like, look at what is happening all across the globe right now. I mean, look at the shit going on in France. Look at the shit going on in Cuba, not very far from where I'm at. Germany, there's China, Taiwan, all kinds of just complete and utter fuckery going on, right? Shane Menger says the news sucks. Yes, indeed. It does suck, doesn't it, my friend? And what again, guys, what does the fucking news do for humanity? Does anybody here have a valid thing that's, I'm not joking, guys. Does anybody here have something valid the news does for humanity? I mean, I could just like go on my iPhone and check the weather, so I'm not quite sure. And I'm not saying that the news doesn't have the capability to do good things for humanity, but I want to know what mainstream news outlets right now have done anything good for humanity in the last, I don't know, 10 years. Andrew K says, haven't actually looked at the news since March of last year. All right, Andrew, hold on. I got something for you. Round of applause, chat. Give Andrew K a round of applause in here. All right. This man is a genius and he's a very smart guy. Nick Sledge also says, I get all my news from bodybuilders and lab coats. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Those bodybuilders and lab coats are good sources of news. Cody Mouse says, at least you can spell good. I can't spell, Cody. I can spell very bad. Very, very not good. Ask anyone who knows me. I am the worst speller ever. Max Dignitas in the house says, the powers that be only want what's best for you. That's why they keep raising TAXES. And why do they keep doing that, guys? Is that money that they're requiring people to give, is that money being funneled into something to benefit society? And also, I would like to add, and times have changed. This is obviously not 1776, right? So some people might not agree with the sentiment, but I would like to add, are any of those current TAXES, were any of those approved by the citizens of this country? Because last time I checked, there's this thing. There used to be this idea called no taxation without representation, but alas, we've evolved far, far away from that. Andrew K says, yo, Shane, I've been trying to contact you. I just read y'all's personal message. Give him a DM, Shane. Max Anita says, I heard from a pigeon it was originally the end of September. Yep, those pigeons, so you got to watch out. Those ledger thieves, they like to steal your ledgers. Christian Soto says, noted. Lizard, yes, we need to add that. Christian, we need to. Antonio says, the only juice I want to take is Test and Anavar. Hold on, Antonio, I got something for you too. Hey, the second one of those two things that you mentioned down there, the Anavar, that's actually prescribed for people who have severe illnesses, severe illnesses that are cachectic in nature. So if one were to be stricken with the COOF, the CRAB-19, I would be willing to bet that might help them if they were having some cachectic related symptoms. I don't think there's any wasting syndrome associated with CRAB-19, but who knows? Cody Mouse says the Babylon Bee. Yes, indeed. Christian Soda says the news wants ratings. Yeah, obviously, right? Whatever gets people watching. Babylon Bee, LOL. Shane says, can you get around the algorithm by using pictures? What do you mean by using by using pictures in the video instead of speaking? The algorithm actually scans the entire video for everything. So let's just say, for example, Shane, if I were to play a Britney Spears music video, I would get a copyright strike in 2 seconds because the algorithm would pick that up instantly, right? So yeah, I mean, I'm sure it does if it's scanning for videos. I'm sure it's taking still frames. I mean, all right. Now you got me thinking. If I'm just going to take a wild guess at how part of this algorithm works, as far as detecting things they don't want used, or detecting things that they don't want used, they would prefer to be CENSORED, if you know what I mean, want silenced. It's probably taking still frames, or it's taking 1 second iterations of a picture of the video or whatever, throwing it into for loop and something, and I don't know, comparing it to all kinds of different things on Google, because again, YouTube is owned by Google. So Wade Emery says, Josh, you got me hooked on the Blue Monster low calorie juice. Yeah, I mean that's the best one. It's it's the least acidic. The zeros are good, guys. The Monster Zeros with the 0 calories, they're good. But some kind of I think it's the sucralose in there, the extra sucralose. It's slightly acidic. So I noticed the low calorie one, although it does have 30 calories and it's only 6 grams of sugar, it still has sucralose in it. But I think they put half. I mean, they use as minimum sugar as they can to keep it under 30 calories. Which, in all honesty, guys, is probably more like 50 calories. Because if you guys knew how they actually measured food on nutrition labels, they cut a lot of corners. But regardless, I think it's a very tasty treat. And I mean, let's just say if it is 50 calories, it's worth it. That's a drop in the bucket. That's a one walk a day. So Antonio says, got to try the 3D energy drinks. I haven't tried those yet, Antonio, but I indeed will. All right, guys. So enough of the chat for now. I will get back to you guys later. So, all right, what's going on? Back to the topic at hand. What is going on in the world right now? All right. Something big that people actually aren't really talking a lot about until the last month, all right? Inflation. Okay, and what do they people are worried about inflation, right? And why are they worried? People are starting to realize that prices are rising, all right? They're starting to realize the prices are rising, even though they're being told the exact opposite by those friendly people up in the Oval Office and the Federal Reserve, right? And why are people starting to realize that things are getting inflated? Well, obviously, it starts out small, right? Starts out small. You go to the gas pump, instead of $2.99 per gallon for 87 octane fuel, it's $3.99 per gallon. $1 per gallon jumps pretty big, but hey, let's just say that could be a supply chain issue, right? Let's just say that could be a supply chain issue. Which, all right, let's talk about that first real quick too. You guys remember the Colonial Pipeline cyber attack, the hacking from Colonial Pipeline? So that was supposed to be the reason why our gas is now more expensive, right? Remember, that was what they want. This is what they told you guys, right? Why is gas still expensive now? Anybody have any legitimate reasons as to why? Anyone? Okay. That's what I thought. And you could say the argument of supply chain issue. Well, we were out of gas for like what? 1 day in some places. And this is like more rural places, like 1 day. Truth is, a lot of truckers actually aren't driving right now. And that is part of the reason. But that's part of the reason why the gas prices are up. Part, not all. Obviously, because of inflation, big duh, right? But the reason why the truckers aren't driving, that is because of inflation in another way. And someone will remind me, I might forget. We'll talk about that in a second too. But anyway, people are being told the opposite, right? I don't know if you guys noticed, but I used to go to the gas station and like a Gatorade was like $1.25. Now it's like $2.25, all right? These or $2.19, all right? Everything is like, it's not a lot, all right? Maybe there's like a slight, 5-6% increase here and there, right? What else? House prices are up almost, in some places, almost 35-40% in a year. In some literal countries, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, guys, I believe it's Australia. In some areas of Australia, the house prices have literally doubled in 1 year. Now, you guys tell me, how does a house price double in 1 year if there's no inflation? It's kind of odd, right? So everyone's starting to realize they're being told one thing, but they're experiencing something completely different, right? And because they're experiencing something completely different, people are starting to feel the pain. They can literally feel it. Okay? They can feel it in their wallets, which is having money and resources to have a prosperous life is important, right? It's literally like on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you can't afford basic food, clothing, and shelter, then like you can't even develop yourself as a person mentally or physically. All right, you just can't, because you have to have those base things covered first, right? And so, how did all this happen? Back to CRAB-19. We had CRAB-19 stage 1, right? The first round of CRAB-19. And what caused all this fuckery in the economy in the first place? We had a shutdown, right? We had a literal economic shutdown. And it wasn't an unintentional shutdown. It was an intentional shutdown. They literally forced the entire economy to shut down, right? This didn't just occur on its own, although there were, if we were going to continue down the path that we were on with our economy, it was going to become problematic inevitably. However, it was probably like more like 10 to 15 or 20 years out, right? And what do you expect to happen when you literally force entire industries to shut down? And I'd also like to add, they were allowing certain companies to stay open and then other companies not to stay open, because that company was deemed to be like a safe place to go. Even though one could argue that those companies were probably, let's just say you're actually afraid of catching the CRAB-19, and you go to a giant Walmart, for example, and you're picking up stuff that other people picking up plastic things other people picked up and put down. And it just doesn't make sense, right? It just wouldn't make sense to be allowing these. If everything else is to shut down, why should these places be open? All right. And so again, to reiterate, we had a forced shutdown. All right. This wasn't something that just like happened. All right. We didn't like have an alien invasion. We didn't have an asteroid didn't hit us. All right. We didn't have a total blackout. We had an enforced shutdown. Right. We were told by our lords and commanders to, hey guys, you stop that business you're doing over there. You can't do it. But they had a solution. Don't worry, guys. We're going to put you on unemployment insurance. We're going to give you the stimmy. We're going to give you the stimmy. All right. And that's when this started happening up in the top right corner right here. Right. And what happens when you have companies and industries that are no longer getting money externally because they're producing products, they're only getting money from the government. That leads to a dependence on the stimmy, right? And then people had to lay off employees, and these employees were also collecting stimmies, right? And a lot of people, and this is not, I'm not exaggerating here. A lot of people were getting more money from their stimmy checks than they were actually working. So it overall creates an environment of dependency upon the stimmy, all right? And I want you guys to start making connections, all right? Put two and two together. Where does the stimmy come from? Not just the government, but where does it come from above the government? Like where's the first place the stimmy comes from? It comes from well, I think you guys know. Nick's Legend says 5% inflation doesn't seem like a big deal until you look at your bank account and see 0.5% interest. Actually, Nick, I would be hard pressed to find a bank account that even has 0.5% interest. In traditional financial realm, most of it's like 0.23 to whatever. But yeah, big facts right there, right? And I don't think it's 5%. I think it's a lot more than 5%. And I'm going to go over that as well very soon. And what I'm going to go over with what I believe it really is, and I'm going to give a quantifiable number. It's very conservative because the number that I'm going to tell you guys is not the number that I actually believe. I actually believe it's higher. And so do the people that are in control of this monetary policy. They've literally said that these are the numbers, but the real numbers are actually higher. Go and YouTube it. Go and Google it. I promise you guys, it's not a joke. They literally said, who said that? It was Jerome, my good old friend Jerome Powell. He literally said, yeah, these are the numbers, but the actual numbers are higher than that. So, and that's another thing too. So what does that tell you? Like they're literally telling all of us to our face, hey, we're lying to you about the numbers, and we don't even actually know what the real numbers are. So Cody Mouse says, everyone still blames the coof, but we all know. Winky face, yes, we all know. We do. Max Ignita says, gas is expensive because the money printer consumes a lot of it. Yep. Shane says, housing are as high as pre-2007. And what else did they do around 2007, 2008? Shane, what else did the people that control the monetary policy do in 2007, 2008? That's very, very similar to what's happening right now. I want you guys to think about that. Cody says house prices are increasing due to PFM. What do you mean by PFM? Could you clarify in the chat, please? All right. So let's talk about inflation. Okay. So first of all, the number that they gave everybody last month, and by the way, I think this number is bullshit. I think it's a lot higher. And I also, on record, Jerome Powell admitted, and I quote, these are the numbers, but the real numbers we think are a lot higher. All right. So it's not just me. It's literally the overlord of the monetary policy for this country said that himself. But the number that they gave was 5.4% inflation. All right. 5.4%, like Nick Sledge said in the chat. However, on top of that, if you consider a minus 1.2% decrease in wages, that actually equates, you have to add that together, that actually equates to a total of 6.7%, right? So let's just round that to 8 to 7%. All right. So our inflation numbers are a very, and I mean very conservative 7%. And we all know it's not 7%. All right. We all know it's a fuck ton higher than 7% because we can see it in the prices. I don't fucking know how in the basket of items they choose to make these to look at these inflation numbers. It's an anagram. It's like 3 letters. I forgot what it's called, but I should know. Forget it all the time. Anyway, this basket contains a bunch of bullshit that's really like irrelevant. It's like, oh, like a price of glue is like 30 cents higher, right? Dish soap is like 30 cents higher. What are people actually buying? We need to be looking at gas, meat, cars, homes, literally things that people need to live, not like dish soap or detergent or fucking Elmer's glue. All right. But okay, 7%. We're going to say a very conservative 7%. And again, he said the real data is a lot higher. Now, we're starting. I think you guys are starting to put some dots together. I hope you guys are. And there's something else I would like to show you guys over here. And if I would share my screen for you gentlemen very quickly to see, I want to take a look at this article. So let us begin. All right. So if you guys see, it says grocery billionaire says inflation for food prices will hit 10 to 14% by October. Businessman John Cathsimatidis, I have no idea how to pronounce this guy's name. All right, guys, so you have to excuse me. Expects a 10 to 14% food inflation by October. God, I'm going to say his name again. Let's call him John. John, the owner and CEO of Manhattan-based grocery chain Gristeens, I'm slaughtering this dude's name, Gristeens Foods, told Fox Business that Americans can expect higher prices for base expenses in the coming months. Quote, we're both in the food business and we're in the oil business. Food prices are getting higher and we expect even more increase by October, he said. We're seeing anywhere from 10 to 14% by October 1st. It's a real number. Okay. So what do we know about these numbers that people tell? We know a lot of things are suppressed, right? So in all honesty, I mean, this number could be a lot higher, but let's just say that we're going to take a literal billionaire food entrepreneur. We're going to expect that a man who's a billionaire from the food business knows his shit, knows what he's talking about, right? So we're going to expect that this is real, all right? 10 to 14% by October. What month is it right now, guys? It's almost the end of July, right? So how can that happen? July, August, September, October. How can that happen in 3 months? So if it's actually around 7%, is it going to double in 3 months? I don't think so. I'm thinking it's probably closer to these numbers already. All right. If not, maybe just a little bit less. The article continues, and oil prices, I know they're a little bit off today, but I expect even higher numbers. He continued, it's a sine wave. Everything just goes up and down. I expect by October, you're going to have over a 6% annualized rate of inflation. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming, again, we already know it's higher than that, right? When asked if businesses would pass higher costs to customers, he responded, you have to pass it on. Otherwise, you're not doing your duty to guard your employees and company. Yeah, all right. So, I mean, basically saying that they're going to increase their prices, right? They're not going to they're not going to keep the prices down just to like give people free stuff because it's costing them money. And that's how you run a business, guys. If it's costing them extra money, they have to charge for it. Now, I highly doubt that all employees in the country are going to get that raise. In fact, guys, you know the average raise in America is usually like nothing every year, right? There's statistics that say like, oh, it's like 1 or 2 or 3%. The best way that you can get a raise is to literally get a better job and to job hop. Used to not be that way, but it is that way now. That's a topic for a different discussion, however, though. I want to continue this article because this is important stuff, guys. So the most recent data from the Department of Labor shows that inflation reached a year-over-year rate of 5.4 core inflation. Again, I think these numbers are lower than what they actually are. In fact, again, to point out, Jerome Powell from the Federal Reserve indeed did state that the real numbers are higher than this. With factors food and energy costs have risen year by year by 4.5%. Inflation surpasses the predictions of economists surveyed by Dow Jones. All right, so that's pretty important here, right? So it's like economists, but for the Dow Jones should be intelligent enough to make rather good predictions for the economy. And they're saying that our inflation rate is surpassing these guys' their predictions, right? So why would that happen? What do you guys think? American consumers' own forecast prices higher, blah, 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 hit an all-time high, median one-year inflation, 8.4% by June. Again, we know it's higher than that. 0.08% increase month after month. All right, so I just think that a lot of these numbers are just not 100% accurate. All right, but irregardless, let's continue. Let us continue with the topic at hand, boys. Let us do that. Okay. All right. So now we have a food entrepreneur billionaire telling you guys that he's expecting food prices to go up 10 to 14% in a few months, right? Now that's pretty fucking absurd, right? Wouldn't you guys say so? Let me check it with the chat. Wade Embry says Obama gave out money in 2008. Yeah, I mean that's exactly the same thing that's going on as what this comment, right? Not this one. Where Shane said, did Shane delete that comment? Yeah, here you go. So this price, this right here. All right. The same thing was going on around this time, which was indeed this that's going on right now, right? Just massive amounts of money printing. And back then, the amount of money they were printing was peanuts compared to what they're printing now. Now they're talking about having a 4.5 trillion reconstruction bill to reconstruct the country. I don't know what the fuck they're going to reconstruct, because we all know that money's not going to anything. At least any kind of like infrastructure. That's for damn sure. If you guys don't believe me, go to New Orleans, go to Jackson, Mississippi. Literally just go to any city that's older than 10 years old, and you will see that the infrastructure is not very great. Cody Mouse says, didn't companies already admit they were decreasing the size of products in the same price? Remember reading something about that earlier this year. Yes, Cody, that is called shrinkflation. And basically, like, if you go and examine a bag of Frito-Lay's chips, if they're going to keep the price the same, if they have to keep the price the same, they're going to give less chips. So you pop that bag of chips open, that bad boy's only got 4 chips in it, and it's the same price it was 10 years ago when it had an abundance of chips. That's exactly what that is. It's called stagflation, or the pejorative for that is called stagflation. The size of products, yes. Late, but reporting in. Hello, Babe Hunker. How are you? Black Sheep says, eating banana pills healthy? I don't know. We might have to eat those banana pills, boys. Everybody start saving your banana peels. Babe Honker says, late for reporting in. Like and subscribe, guys. ELP is live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Babe Honker. Thank you very much. We are indeed live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Pablo Busco says, I'm ready to fight. All right, Pablo, let's do it. Pablo, guys, you guys are going to watch me and Pablo fight on live stream. It's going to be epic. Cody says, just jumped on his back, Pablo. Guarantee win. Oh, God. Cody, look, don't give him any ideas, dude. That's cheating. If he wins like that, that's cheating, man. It's not fair. Not fair, Cody. Sam Pachinsky says, the last reconstruction period wasn't turbulent whatsoever. Rolling eyes emoji. Yeah, it wasn't turbulent at all, right? Tom Graff in the house. Evening, gents. Good evening, Tom Graff. How are we? Nick Sledgian says, we spent 10 trillion plus on this pandemonium, and the only thing that was destroyed is over 60 plus crown. And now, what exactly are we rebuilding? 60 plus crab. Yeah. Pablo needs some chokes. Use those hands. Hey, look, I'm not going to talk about. I'm going to refrain you guys from talking about like the people that were harmed by the CRAB-19, but I think you guys probably know my views on that. I think that kind of goes without saying. I don't think I need to give an explanation on that, because I think that the overlords at the YouTubes are not gonna like anything that we would have to say specifically about that. But I think you guys know. All right, so back to CRAB-19. So, all right, we had a grocery store billionaire telling us that we're going to have almost 15% inflation by October in food. So, did everything in the economy reset? Has the whole world been changed? Are we in any different of a situation other than kind of like things are more inflated? No, not really, right? I mean, obviously, okay, that was a lie. Things are very different, but from the outside looking in, it appears that things are fine, right? And that's, again, you guys have ever seen Weekend at Bernie's? I mean, our economy in our country right now is basically like a dead corpse with sunglasses on, or rather a very hungover lad on the next day after nights and nights of binge drinking on spring break, and they need a bloody martini in the morning just to sustain life. And if they don't drink that bloody martini, they're going right back to sleep. That's kind of our economy right now, right? So it's still what it used to be. It's a hollow shell of what it used to be, but it's still partly what it used to be, right? So are you guys familiar? Are you guys familiar with this? If this will load. Patience, guys. Patience is virtue. Give me a second, please. I need to get a new machine, guys. And I'm probably going to be doing that very soon. I'm very anal about getting a new machine. And apparently, guys, there's a chip shortage, all right? There's a chip shortage, so it's going to be a little bit extra costly. You guys familiar with this picture right here? You guys know where this came from? You guys? You will own nothing, and you will be happy. First of all, I'm sure some of you guys know where this came from. It came from the World Economic Forum in a video on YouTube titled The Great Reset, which, by the way, that video is not there anymore, right? We know why. We know why that's not there. How does this picture make you guys feel? How do you guys feel about owning nothing and being happy about it? Would you guys be happy if you owned nothing? If you never had the ability to own nothing? I guess technically, if nobody in the entire planet ever owned anything, that would be okay, right? But is that actually going to happen? No, probably not, right? Because anytime anybody's tried to keep things equitable in a society, it actually ends up just being where a select group of people are at the top, there's no one in the middle, and it's just 99% of the people are at the bottom, right? So 99% of people will own nothing, but the 1% will own everything, basically, right? That's what they wanted, guys. That's what they wanted to happen with CRAB-19, all right? Big surprise, all right? You guys are all surprised, right? The Great Reset, right? And I believe that CRAB-19 was all done in order to get that Great Reset going. But did it work? No, it didn't. It did not, guys. It did not. They're trying still. We're gonna talk about that in a second. But they're trying, but it didn't work completely. It didn't necessarily turn out the way that they wanted, right? So, why is everything that's going on right now a complete repeat of what happened the first time? Well, because it didn't work the first time, right? Hence CRAB-19 stage 2, all right? And now, since they only were able to damage the economy and damage the country and damage people enough to where we're just basically a Weekend at Bernie's, they really didn't do anything other than just hyperinflate the economy and cause a bunch of fuckery, right? And has anyone in the mainstream media said, hey, guys, this inflation, and keep in mind, guys, they've already admitted that there's inflation, and Jerome Powell from the Federal Reserve has literally admitted that the inflation numbers, the real inflation numbers, are higher than they actually are projecting. All right. So this is not a conspiracy. This is 100% factual. Okay. If you don't believe me, I don't know, just figure it out or fact check yourself. But all that happened was the money, our money's value is less, right? We have an inflation of this currency, right? We have inflation. And how has anyone in the media said, hey guys, we know everything's inflated. It's because we printed way too much fucking money, and we're just going to stop now, right? We're gonna lower the interest rates. We're gonna raise the interest rates. We're gonna stop. We're gonna start pressing the brakes on the train. All right. Slow the train down. All right. We're not going to do it abruptly. We're going to do it. Are they doing that? No. Are they taking the blame for anything they did? Are they taking the blame for for forcibly shutting down the entire economy? No. Because one would consider to shut down an entire economy to be problematic for an economy, right? Are they taking the blame on any of that? No, of course not. So, how do they take this blame and shift it onto someone else? How do they take this blame and make all the people, all the NPCs in the crowd, probably shouldn't even say those 3 letters together because the algorithm will probably get mad at me, but how do they make the normies believe that the problem is not them? How do they dangle the carrot to make the normies look the other way around? Hey guys, don't look at this money printing right here. Look over there. Shh, look over there. Shh, shh. Hey, stupids, look over there. How do they do that? They have to cause another problem. CRAB-19 stage 2. All right, guys. So the first time we had CRAB-19 stage 1, right? Just 15 days, guys. Just 15 days to flatten the curve. Shh, we promise. Hey, guys, calm down. It's okay. I know in the last 100 years that everyone, the oldest person alive in this country, in the world, has never been forced to stay inside from a totalitarian regime. But hey, guys, if you just do it for 14 days, it's going to be okay. 14, 15 days, it's going to be okay, all right? We promise. We promise. Hey, what? No, we're not going to rug you guys. We're not going to slowly but surely take away your rights until the point that there's none left, all right? We know you guys are too smart to allow that to happen. You guys are far too intelligent to allow that to happen. Just trust us. 15 days, right? And then what? After that, you got to wear the thing on your mouth, right? So now, 15 days, and then all you have to do is just wear this everywhere you go. But you don't have to wear it inside. If you wear it everywhere outside, that's okay. It'll stop everything. It'll fix all the problems. It makes sense. The science is there. It'll stop all the problems. And then what? Now you have to wear it inside your house too. It'll stop all the problems. Just trust us, guys. I know the first 2 things we said didn't work, but just trust us. And then what? Now you got to wear 2 of them. You got to double up on those. Got to double up on those face diapers, guys. Don't forget to double up on your fucking face diaper. But we promise it'll fix all the problems, right? And then what? You guys, if you just take the Fauci juice, then that'll actually stop all of it. Then we'll let you guys be free. Then everyone can go back to work. Then everyone can go outside. And you guys will be allowed to enjoy a 4th of July. All you got to do is take the Fauci juice. And hey, the science is there. It works. It's going to stop everything. And what happened now? What's happening now, guys? What the fuck is happening now? CRAB-19, stage 2, DELTA variant. Hey, guys, just want to let you know, all the Fauci juice you got, all the jabs, didn't work. All the masks didn't work. Now you got to do the whole thing over again. So guess what? And I predicted this. I told my literal family members, hey, you're doing all this for nothing. They're going to make you literally do the exact same thing when the end of the year comes. So you got the juice, you got the jab, you did all this stupid shit, you lost your job, all of it, and they're just going to say it didn't work, got to do it all over again. And they did it. And guys, people did this stuff because they're kind-hearted people, right? Regardless of if you're okay, so let's just say these normies, they just don't know better because their entire life they've been programmed to think a certain way, right? They can't ever think outside of the narrative of what the good Lord, the government, praise the government, and the news tells them, all right? And so when they wear these things in their mouths, they think that they're helping other people. And so inside they're good people, all right? They don't want to hurt other people, right? When they get the Fauci juice, when they get the jab, they're doing it because they legitimately care. Not all of them, all right? Some people are just doing it because they're just told to, right? Or because they want to be able to like let everyone know how socially just they are or whatever. But most of those people are good people, all right? But you got to feel bad for them because they did all that for nothing, and now they're going to do the whole thing over again, right? CRAB-19 stage 2. Oh, guys, maybe I have the coof. I should go get some more Morgan & Morgan jabs. Let me check up with the chat. Nick Sledge says Pablo needs some chokes. Use those hands. I think I read that one already. JP in the house says I've got 0.001 Bitcoin on Pablo. Okay, JP. Let's all. If you guys are gonna bet on the Pablo versus ELP fight, we're gonna have to send all that biddy into a wallet, and we're gonna have to do a multi-sig. That way, a third party can come and put the multi-sig key in, and then release the prize to the winners. Sam Perchinsky said, no boomers were harmed in the streaming of this live stream. Yes, indeed. Black Sheep, is that a lab coat? The Lords of Gains demand the traps to be shown. Indeed, it is a lab coat. This is my computer science lab coat, the Black Sheep, all right? You guys want to know what cures the coof? Gerolsteiner, all right? The Gerolsteiner sparkling water is what really cures the coof. Black Sheep, I actually don't have. I have very small traps. They're very small. Oh, guys, maybe I do have the coof. Help me. Sam Brzezinski says weekend at Biden's. Cody Mouse in the house says we need to pitch in for a stringer lab coat. I don't even know if that's a thing, but if not, we can indeed make one. Nick's Legend says we are familiar with your face, Josh. I hope so. Christian Soto, popcorn eyes emoji. Shane Minger says worthless. Christian Soto says fighting. Cody Moose in the Who says, couldn't they be more original and think of something new? Right, Cody, right? We could have done aliens this time. Well, why are they using the exact same thing? Because they know it works, all right? And you guys, we have to think about the average person, all right? Oh, guys, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. Look, they know that I'm streaming. I'm talking about it. And now they're transmitting the coof into my brain. I'm going to die on air. Hold on one second. Let me mute this so you guys can't hear. Now my eye's watering. Okay. The reason why they're going to do the same thing is because it worked, Cody. Right? So why break something that's not broken? Why fix something that's not broken, right? Andrew K says, kind of like the short story Harrison Bergeron. Never seen that short story. Everyone must be equal except the government. Yeah, I haven't heard that story. They create another distraction. God, I'm trying not to die, guys. Hold on a second. Send meds, guys. Send Fauci juice. I need it. S/days/years. What do you mean, Nick? Clarify for me, please. They meant 14 years to reset the world. I mean, I don't think they really need 14 years. Do they need 14 years to do that? I don't think so, right? Mr. Perez, right here. All right, hold on. Hold on, guys. I have to clap for him before I even read this. Hold on. Mr. Perez says, problem, then reaction, then solution, and then refresh. Yep. Face diapers. Face diapers. Wear your chin diapers, says Kyle W. in the chat. Black Sheep says, I hope that sock was clean, bro. It was, but now it's not. Now it's got the coof on it. Let me uncoof my eyes for you guys real quick here. I got coofed, guys. Help me. Even wear face diapers when you're humping. Yeah, that was a legitimate article from the UK, right? Shame on them. Shame. The shame. Nick Sledge says, Fauci juice with spaces, .. Make sure you get your annual dose. Indeed, guys. Indeed. You have to get at least 10 Fauci juice doses a year, all right? Don't worry. Big Pharma is going to make all the Fauci juices for everybody. I take a Fauci juice. It's a proprietary Fauci juice. Because listen, I have this motto in my life about jabs, all right? You don't have to have the same motto as me. This is just my personal motto. But I've always told people, nobody is giving me a jab except for me, all right? I'm never getting a jab unless it's me that's doing it. Wade Perez says, no, I read one already. Because it's a managed DEA TH program. They got you to yeet. They get to yeet you slowly. What if that's the case, man? I don't really know. We're going to find out, though, right? Shane Megger says they are supposed to protect us, but they are ruining us financially. Glad that you noticed, Shane. So we become dependent on them. Uncle Sam is a pimp. Literally, we were literally getting pimped by Uncle Sam. You're very correct about that, Shane. We are literally, and I mean literally getting pimped by Uncle Sam. And every time you get, if you're a W-2 employee, every time you get your paycheck, don't forget where a quarter or a third or 2/3 of that money goes before it even gets to you. Don't you fucking forget without even asking for your permission. Babe Hogger says, "Oh man, I should have sent you so many links tonight. This is fire. Thank you very much. Feel free to send me what you need on Telegram, dude. I'll take a look at it. As long as it's politically correct enough to put on the YouTubes." Nick Legend says they actually tried aliens, Cody. I think they could try that, all right? But what are they going to try, guys? Get distracted here at the chat for a second. We'll get back to that. But that was a good thank you. So what are they going to try, guys? Well, what do they want? First, in order to figure out what they're going to do, we have to figure out what they want, right? Obviously, they're already trying CRAB-19 stage 2, right? They're trying CRAB-19 stage 2. They're doing the exact same thing again. Can you blame them? People are so blind that they can't even see what's in front of them. Right? I'm not going to call these people stupid, all right? Because there's people who are probably incredibly intelligent that are just stuck in the matrix. They're just plugged in. All right, they will stay in the matrix for forever, and they just can't see the wall in front of their eyes, even if they already have the sack around their head. All right, but they want the great reset, right? I mean, they admitted that. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy, right? They want you guys to be happy and content owning and doing nothing, all right? And so what's part of that is to give the stimmies, to give the confetti money. Woo, the confetti money, right? And they just basically don't want to be able to, I mean, I believe that's part of it too. So I think part of it's malicious on their part to us, all right? Now, the reason for that, I don't know why, all right? But obviously, they want to reset their financial system because it doesn't work. They as dumb as they are with like admitting what they do, and I don't even know if that's like dumb. Maybe they just do that on purpose, or they sometimes just can't cover up their tracks, all right? Or at least they do a very bad job at it. It's like even a common criminal could cover up their tracks better than these people, but they're having trouble accomplishing that, right? And basically, like right now, what's happening? People are like speculating on fucking meme stocks. GME, people are taking their money. They're buying equities with it. They're buying crypto with it. A lot of people are buying crypto. People are putting their money in literally anything instead of keeping it in the bank, right? And they don't, trust me, guys, they want you to keep it in the bank because that's the only way that their shit can stay alive. That's how they keep you in their system. Okay, with stocks and equities, you're still kind of in their system, right? But if you own crypto, you're pretty much outside of their system, right? And they really don't like that, all right? Now, here's a problem, guys. So if you were to ask, I bet if I were to ask in this chat, like, what is y'all's main goal in life? The number one thing probably has something that has to involve, that is involved with having to accrue a large amount of money, right? Having to be financially free, having to be sovereign, having to be a sovereign individual, all right? We all know that you cannot do that without capital, right? You can't literally just go and be a techno pirate and go on a boat if you don't have a massive amount of money to sustain that, right? Everyone and most people, like if you ask them what they like when they want to grow up, they want to be rich, right? They want to have money. Everyone wants to have the nice things, all right? All the nice stuff, and you got to have a lot of money, right? Now, why is that? There was a study done in the 1970s, and they asked people the same question. What do you want to do? What's your most important goal in life? And the very bottom of those lists was having to accrue lots of wealth. Most people in the 1970s were concerned about making good relationships, being an authority in their field, So like whatever field of work they were in, if they were a scientist, they wanted to be an authority on computer science. They wanted to be able to have published articles that people respected them. They wanted to change the world. They wanted to do important things. They weren't as concerned about money. Now, why is that? It's because when people would work and they took their money, they could put it in their bank account and they didn't have to do all this retarded shit. They just had to work a little bit extra hard and they were pretty much okay. Everyone was financially stable for the most part, right? They weren't rich probably, but they probably had a roof over their head, a car. They wanted to drive it. These things weren't like to be able to buy a Mustang back in the day, you might have spent $2,000 and maybe that was a lot, but a 16-year-old kid could work at a restaurant for like a summer or something and like save up enough money to do that, right? Or maybe a year or two and save up enough money to do that, all right? You can't buy a Mustang unless you're you can either give them $40,000 cash or you can, take a loan on it. And pretty much everyone, when you get a car, it only makes sense to take a loan, especially they give you all these extra interest and benefits and stuff and cash back and yada, yada, yada. They incentivize you to take these loans because they want you to stay in the system. But irregardless, the problem with the entire world right now is the money, all right? The money is the problem, okay? And it's not just the money, it's the financial system, all right, guys? So, there's people that have to travel and leave their country and have a sick family at home because they can't take care of them. They can't afford to take care of their sick mother or their sick father. And they have to come to the United States and do things for work that they don't want to do in order to sustain life for their family, because it's not good enough to just go and get money where they're at or anywhere really, and here too, in the United States too. It's not good enough to protect yourself in the future, to be secure in the future by just working and putting money in a bank. And so what happens is that causes people to speculate on retarded shit, to speculate on meme coins, Cumrocket, Dogecoin, AMC, speculate on assets, put their money in, and not just stupid shit too, like assets as well. People are buying houses right now. The house prices are going up or skyrocketing. People are still buying houses. Why? Because they're so fucking scared to keep their money in a bank account because it's going to lose its value. And they're like, fuck, if I don't buy a house now, I'll never be able to get a house. Something's not right about that, right? And so that's the problem. And I would be willing to bet if we could just simply fix the money, we'd fix a lot of problems in this world, okay? We'd fix a lot of problems in the world. But they don't want you to know that. They don't want to take the blame for that. They want to do CRAB-19 stage 2, and they're going to blame all of it on the COOF, all of it on CRAB-19. It's a cyber attack. It's CRAB-19. It's the DELTA variant. All right. None of it's their fault. Okay. None of it's their fault. Keep in mind, guys, none of it is ever their fucking fault. All right. They're kind of like, well, I probably shouldn't say that. But anyway, so what are people doing, guys? They're taking their money and they're buying crypto with it. They're buying gold. People are buying bullets. People are buying literally anything that isn't money. They're taking their money and parking their, quote unquote, parking their money in something because they're so fucking afraid that their money is going to lose its value. And they have this upside of putting their money in something else and the money is going to increase in value, right? And the central bankers, they don't like that very much, do they? They're kind of being on the defensive about it. And you can kind of see. You can see it. What's happening with like crypto? All right, so let's just talk about this guy right here. All right. Let's talk about, all right, fine. We can talk about this guy too. We can talk about this guy. All right. Because what I'm about to say would make more sense with this guy this year. How much was a whole one of these guys back, I don't know, let's just say 10 months ago? How much one of these in like October of 2020? $300, right? How much is one today? $2,000, and that's after it's taken a brutal beating over the last 3 months. They don't like that. They don't like that people can just increase their wealth by speculating on things, but they also don't like that when you use those things for payment, it's outside of their system, right? They really don't like that. They really don't like that. Because why? Because they know that when people take a step outside of their world, and keep in mind, guys, they created this entire world. They created all of it. I'm serious. I'm not joking about that. This economy that we live in, they created all of it. Okay. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a fact. All right. Especially America. We're a financial economy. We don't really produce goods. We have services. Most of our services are software-based services, though. But I mean, basically, we have an economy that money just trickles down from the top, which is the Federal Reserve. All right. It goes down and then down into banks, into people. All right. That's all it is. We have a trickle-down economy. That's all it is. And they know that if you were to just simply step outside of the world that they created for just a moment, that you would experience something that you've never experienced before. And they don't want people to know that. They want people to stay inside of their world. And that's why the central bank is panicking. And they're trying very hard to take as much control of alternative currencies as possible. As much as I hate the guy, Peter Schiff, Peter Schiff, the gold guy, right? He hates the boomer coin, right? Guys, we have a lot in common with that guy. We know and understand the same things that he does. He just has to shill gold and he hates Bitcoin, all right? Well, let's just be honest. Mr. Schiff, you probably own a coin or two. Don't lie. Don't lie, Peter. We know. But what are they doing to gold? They can manipulate gold because gold is in a paper market, right? Gold is extremely easy to manipulate. All the ETFs, the electronic traded funds for gold, they can dump it, right? Dump it. And what are they doing with crypto? Well, they're keeping the press on crypto as negative as they possibly can, all right? Now, why is that? They're trying to keep it down because they don't want people to buy, guys. They don't want people to buy crypto, right? Now, what did I just say about Ethereum? And I didn't even talk about Bitcoin yet, all right? What did I just say about Ethereum? $300 less than 10 months ago, all right? If you would have bought it last year, you would have made money, right? You would have made a significant amount of money. Your money would have gained in value and it would have not have dropped in value. Now, what about if you were to send cryptocurrency to somebody? Then you're not in their system. You're outside of their world. They don't want people to know that stuff, right? But they're going to do everything they can, and they have they? If you guys have seen all the crazy FUD that's been going on recently with crypto, what do they do? They're doing the same thing they've always done. Orange coin bad, right? Orange coin bad, orange coin bad, orange coin bad. It's bad, guys. Hackers use it, right? I'm trying to pull something up for you guys because they can manipulate cryptocurrency as well, but it's not as easy for them to do so because when they do it, see the beauty about blockchain technology, the beauty about blockchain is that it'll never lie to you. It'll never lie to you. You can't run from the blockchain. You can't hide from the blockchain. You can't steal from the blockchain. You can't cheat the blockchain. The blockchain is omnipotent, all right? Thank you, Satoshi. The blockchain is omnipotent, right? So when they try to manipulate it, we can see it as clear as day, right? So let me pull up this thing for you guys. I want to show you guys something. Something happened that was all very apparent the other day as to a hint of manipulation that they were using. But again, we know that they do this stuff in the media too, right? We all know the narrative. I don't have to say all the things that they've said about Bitcoin in particular, right? So while this is loading, guys, let me check up the chat. Nick Sledge says, TBH, my friends were buying houses in 2017, and I was like, damn, dude, prices are high these days. Yeah, I mean, dude, they were high back then too, right? Oh, man, I'm far behind the chat. Sorry, guys. Hold on a second. Max Ignita says, I got 9,000 free concert tickets for my city. All right, cool, Max. Can you give me one? Let's go. Black Sheep says, I love you guys. Unfortunately, I have to go back to work. Everyone have a great night. Black Sheep, thank you for coming, my friend. I'm sure you'll see I'm sure you'll catch the replay, but appreciate you, and I appreciate the time that you spent here, and I hope you do indeed have a good night. Christian Shoto says goodbye to you. Taj Sid in the chat says fire signs. Taj, I need to give you mod. I'm not on the main page. Hey, Max or Christian, can one of you guys give him mod, please? I don't know if you guys have rights to or not. If not, give me a second. I'll pull it up later. Or I'll do it after the stream's over, Taj. Sam Pritchkanston says, Spaceman may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Oh boy. Matt W says, yo, 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 Christian. And Josh, hello, Matt. Good to see you. Sam Perchinsky says, you can buy a car with 2 months full-time work. You could buy a car with 2 months full-time work. Now or in the past? Yeah, I mean, okay, Chris. Yeah, you can. You can buy a used car, but a new car, right? A new product. A brand new thingamabobber, Sam. Nick Sledgen said, TBH, my friends are buying. Oh, sorry, I read that one. Sorry. Matt W said, had a chance to buy in my apartment building, but I love this one unit and the other one upstairs ain't much. And rent anyway and needs work. I just think I'll stick with the crypto for now. I mean, as of right now, I mean, this is just a financial opinion, not financial advice. I mean, you guys know I'm selling my property. I don't feel safe with my money anywhere outside of my control right now. Put it to you that way. About 200. Yeah, it was about $200, right? Keanu Reeves says BTC and ETH are bad for algorithms. Yeah, they don't like the boomer coin. Keanu, they don't, believe it or not, because with this, what Sam said here, orange coin bad. They don't like it. Matt W says, hello to you, Andrew. Harry Zykos in the house. Smash the like button. Yes, guys, please indeed smash the like button. Show me some love. Max Sinita says, I heard Peter Schiff hides one Bitcoin behind his left ear. Max, how many boomer coins do you think Peter Schiff has? I mean, we know his son has one, right? All right, so let me share this with you guys real quick before I get back to the chat, just to make my point here before I forget about this. All right, just proof, okay? And I'm gonna and again, this is not the end all be all. All right, so this is pretty fucking suspicious, okay? And I'm gonna lay down the logic for you guys and explain why I believe what I believe. So if you guys could please kindly take a look at the screen right here. All right, guys. So hopefully you guys can see this. Maybe I can try to zoom in a little bit. There we go. All right. So this right here is Coinbase Pro's inflows for Bitcoin. All right. So for you guys out there that don't know, okay, how cryptocurrency works, or let's just talk about the boomer coin. All right. You have a wallet that it has an address associated with the wallet, much like I have a house and my house has an address, right? If you want to send mail to my house, you got to send it to my address. All right. So Coinbase obviously is an exchange, all right? Coinbase is what's called a spot exchange. So, I mean, you basically just, trade something for something on there. You can trade crypto for fiat. You can trade crypto for other crypto, yada, 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 right? You make trades on here, all right? It's on an exchange. And therefore, the transactions on these exchanges affect prices, all right? That's why the prices go up and down. The prices are dependent upon what someone is willing to buy and what someone is willing to sell for, and also the amount of whatever it is that's being sold in circulation at that time, all right? So, and there's lots of bots, okay? There's lots of trading bots and algorithms. I mean, honestly, guys, I'd say like 70% of all trading nowadays and in all markets, it's just bots, all right? They're just bots. They try to pick up pennies at a time. They literally pick up as much pennies at the time, and maybe your bot can make $100, $1,000 a day, all right? And there's farms of these bots, all right? And so, like, if they see a price and they can only grab something that's 1 penny higher, the price goes up 1 penny higher, right? And also, again, supply and demand, okay? So when something increases in circulation by a vast amount, the supply becomes less scarce, and then therefore the price can go down, right? So Bitcoin, Coinbase Pro inflows, all right? So this right here, guys, these red lines is the number of volume of Bitcoin that was taken out of other people's wallets, all right, and put onto Coinbase Pro. Now, why does someone put Bitcoin on from another wallet into Coinbase Pro? Obviously, because they're going to fucking sell it, right? Because they're going to sell it. And who are the normal, regular people that are selling Bitcoin, other than maybe people taking profit occasionally here and there, or they're just using it to trade? They're going to trade it and buy it back at a lower price and yada, yada, yada. Traders, all right, traders. And then there's the occasional, retail guy who's just wanting to buy, maybe a couple Satoshis once a week and stack up on them, right? Stack sats, all right? Although those people probably aren't on Coinbase Pro. Coinbase Pro is usually for the traders, right? So this is where a price of an asset could be severely affected, all right? So these red lines, again, are the amount of inflows. So Bitcoin coming into this exchange in order to be ready to be sold. Now look at the normal here, all right? If we go back, if I zoom out of here real quick, I should probably just reload. Let me reload this page because I think my magic mouse pad for my MacBook is just all jacked up on Mountain Dew right now. All right. I just wanted to zoom in so you guys could see. But, okay, guys. So if you look back here, back in, oh, Lord, don't do it again. Don't do it again. All right, guys, we'll have to refresh it one more time, guys. One more time. I promise it's going to work. I just won't touch it this time. But anyway, these inflow prices go back from September 20th, all right, 2020. Sorry, not September 20th, September 2020, all right, all the way to July 2021. Now, out of these red lines, some of these are a little bit high, right? So maybe some miners, you know, maybe people were taking profits in January because Bitcoin was around $36,000 that month, as opposed to being $13,000 about 2 or 3 months before that, right? So obviously, some people were selling and taking profits, all right? Normal thing, all right? Nothing too crazy here. A little bit of extra volume, okay? And then what do we have right here? Look at that. July 16th, 2021. Look at that huge red Hulk dick from hell. That's the most Bitcoin that has ever been loaded on Coinbase Pro, at least as far as a year back, right? Probably in a long time. You want to know how much Bitcoin this was? This was 79,121 Bitcoin, right? Almost 80,000 Bitcoin were loaded onto Coinbase Pro on a spot exchange to be sold at a price of 31.5 thousand. All right, guys. Now, if you guys know anything about the cryptocurrency market, obviously you guys know that there's spot exchanges, so like this for traders, all right? And we all know the people with the real money, the big boys, they don't trade on a spot exchange. They go through over the counter, right? And there's several reasons to why they do that, right? But one is usually not to affect the price. Usually people buy a lot over the counter, not to affect the price, and then they'll also be courteous and sell it over the counter because maybe they'll get a premium for it. They don't have to pay a fee. I'm sure the fee for that trade was pretty fucking high for this person. Approximately $2.5 billion of the Bitcoin. I don't know. Somebody do the math of what the Coinbase Pro fee would have been for that. It's probably pretty fucking high, right? So why? Oh, why? Please tell me why someone would take 80,000 Bitcoin and load it on Coinbase Pro to sell it, knowing damn well the price was literally going to dump. The most Bitcoin that's probably ever been loaded on Coinbase Pro. I don't know. If I'm wrong, there's a time that more than 80,000 Boomer coin were sold on Coinbase Pro. Please let me know. But I bet that's probably the most amount of Bitcoin that's ever been sold on Coinbase Pro. Take a fee, affect the price, not go over the counter, have your fuckery all involved in the open market. So who does that? And guys, to keep a comparison, you guys know that company Tesla, right? That big car company. Tesla owns 43,000 Bitcoin. This is 80,000 Bitcoin. So some person, all right, and I highly doubt this is one person. I think you guys know where I'm going here. Some person, some very wealthy person was just like, hey, I'm just going to sell Bitcoin at $31,500, 8,000 of them on Coinbase Pro. When that person knows that number going to go up, all right, they know. Oh, they know, all right. And if they would have waited until today, it would have gone up and they would have made more profit. So, guys, come the fuck on. Put two and two together. What kind of fucking retard, all right? And I'm sorry, I have to curse now. What kind of fucking retard sells 8,000 Bitcoin on an open market, on a public exchange, at a loss, at a very low price, takes a fee? That person, that entity, those people, they don't do that to sell it for money, right? They're doing that to drop the price, all right? Dun-dun-dun. I hope you guys, I hope that makes sense to you guys. If not, let me know. And who do you think would be the a reasonable suspect, or at least a general suspect as to who was doing that stuff? And why do you think that is? Orange Coin Bab, right? Orange Coin Bab. Matt W says, Harry for Rizzle, hit that like bizzle my nizzles. Yes, please hit the like. 28 people in the chat, hit the like button so the like number go up. Yes, guys, number go up. Harry's Icos, in the gym, listening. Good stuff. Thank you, Harry. I hope that I'm giving you the motivation you need. Chick-fil-A delivery says, oh, sorry, wrong one. Chick-fil-A delivery says the media is not your friend. It calls Tell-A-Vision. It's called Tell-A-Vision for a reason. Their vision. Yes, tell lies to your vision. Tell-I-Vision. Tell lies to your vision. Goody Mouse in the house. Is this a new viewer record? No, we've had like 35 plus before. Patricio says, greetings from Chile. Greetings, my friend Patricio. How are you in Chile? Hope you are doing very good. Sam Pertinsky says, in the 70s. Yeah, in the 70s, not anymore. Taj was a wrench. Taj has a wrench. Thank you very much for giving Taj the wrench. Taj, abolish all the sinners. Abolish all the sinners in the chat if need be. Sam Pertinsky, oh yeah, in the 70s. Okay, Sam, you were talking about can buy a car with like 2 months worth of salary, right? Yeah. And then in 1970s, the median salary was $9,800. Average car, $3,500. New car cost about 5 months' salary after taxes for the average man buying the average car. Yeah, you buy it in cash, right? And then they could go on. They wouldn't have to continually pay for a car note. They can go on and put that money elsewhere, right? So that was things are different, right? Looks like lots of risk on versus risk off prepping. Indeed, my friend. Average salary now is $52K, and the average car last month was $42,000. God damn, the average car price $40,000. Man, I bought my Mustang back in 2017 for like about $42,000. I thought that was fucking expensive for a Mustang, dude. I was like, that's sad. The average car is $42,000, and the average salary is $50,000. Guys, come on, guys. You think does any of this shit just make sense? It doesn't, right? We're living in fucking clown world. Totally legit, says Cody Mouse. Weird that Chad red candle at all. Yeah, right? I mean, it was pretty fucking sus. I mean, look, there's no one in their right mind, Cody, and anyone in this, you guys, there's no one in their right mind that's going to argue that was nefarious, right? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you can argue that that's not nefarious, if you're going to argue with me that's not nefarious and that's not sus, then just, I don't know. Don't ever talk to me again. Don't you ever. Matt W says, and a large family was affordable. Yeah, back then people actually had families and lots of babies. Nowadays, $9,800 might buy your wife a ring in the wedding. Yeah, and then she'd probably complain that it wasn't big enough too. Sam Pertinsky says, average car costs more than a year's income for the average man after taxes. Yep. Bravo. Can't forget about those Uncle Sam fees, right? Matt W. I own an older car outright, but I wouldn't have it any other way unless I traded in towards a truck or caravan. Yeah, I'm not buying another car. Even if I am incentivized to buy the car alone, I'm just going to lease. I'd rather just lease it so I'm done with it in 1 year. I don't want it anymore. And I will always keep this Mustang for forever unless I got to put it somewhere else that I can't. I don't have storage for it. It just doesn't make sense. And also, Matt, my sentiment of what I want in life has changed a lot. Like I don't really care as much for the flashy things per se. Although I do like my flashy things every now and then. And I am going to be buying something nice here very soon. But it's definitely going to be something that's easily liquidable. That's for sure. So you have to be able to accommodate for this kind of stuff because at the end of the day, guys, life's not about having like the nicest stuff. I mean, it's nice to have nice things, but it's nice to have nice things on top of having the ability to be financially secure and free, right? That should come first, and it's not first because of the system, because of the gobbledygook brainwash, because of the central banks, because of the media, because boomer coin bad, indeed, right? So keep in mind, guys, the whole theme of this whole money, we fix the money, we fix the world, right? They don't want that to happen. The Quadratus says, howdy from the AU West, currently in lockdown. Man, hold on, guys. Everyone say a prayer in here for our friend, the Quadratus. Bless him. Bless you, Quadratus. We feel for you, dude. I know it sounded like I was being sarcastic, but seriously, I feel for you, man. That really fucking sucks, dude. I'm sorry. Nick Sledge says, Americans like their cars big. Yep, indeed we do. I do indeed enjoy my my good old V8. That's not a lie. You can get a sedan for $16K, yet an average price is $42K new car. I mean, what car can you get? What four-door car can you get, Nick, that's $18,000 brand new? Like a base model, like the bottom end Chevrolet Cruze. I mean, dude, I wouldn't buy a General Motors car. I don't think there's any Honda that's that cheap. I don't think there's any Hondas that are that cheap. There is. I mean, that's not a bad deal. Sam Brzezinski said used cars are selling for more than new ones now. Clown world. Yeah, right. Riddle me this, guys. How does a car, the most depreciating asset, the number one depreciating asset, how does a car go up $8,000 in 1 year in value? Because that's what happened to my car. And that doesn't make any fucking sense. Doesn't make any sense. Clown world. Wake up, guys. Wake up, guys. Something's not right? Chick-fil-A's delivery says solution: buy and live inside a Tesla Cybertruck. Chick-fil-A delivery. Who are you? I think I know who you are, Chick-fil-A delivery. I think I know who Chick-fil-A delivery is now. I think you just gave yourself away, Mr. Zebo. Rihanna Keeves says autonomy is good. Yep, indeed. Nick Sludge Bros, if you are still wearing a blank, I have a spot for you on my couch near in Phoenix with no blanks. Eli in the house says financial freedom is first, in my opinion. Yeah, indeed, man. It should be. And they don't, Eli, hey, it's going to be okay, right? You got Social Security, you got this, you got the government. They're going to take care of you. You don't have to worry about being, hush, my child, stay with us, stay in our system. You don't have to be worrying about that stuff. We'll take care of you. We love you. We care for you so much. Matt W says, I hear you, Josh. I would only own a work vehicle if I lived in a large city like Miami and use Uber if I had to, public transit or walk places. Yeah, I mean, I pretty much can just walk wherever I want, and I can stay inside all day long if I want to too, because I work from home. So I have really no need for my car, and I actually enjoy the fact that my car is sitting underneath the garage being preserved because it makes me feel better. Quadratus 3 weeks in, at least no sign of coming out until September. Man, honestly, man, prepare yourself because I think it's going to be more than September. I'm just being realistic with you. Good Mouse says, nobody can take my lonely 90s foreign car away from me. I don't know what you have. 2022 Toyota Corolla 20K. I don't know. Is that true? How much you paying at the taxes? Probably still like 25K taxes and registration, having to bend over for Uncle Sam, the bend over Uncle Sam fee. Sam Bertinzi says that. You can get a Nissan Versa for that. Okay, I didn't know. My mate bought a Ford Ranger, brand new, drove it around in Australia and sold it for more than he bought it for. Oh my fucking God. Jesus Christ. This is just insane. Yeah, that makes no sense, right? Harry Psycho says, my Jeep is practically paid off, not buying another car for years. Smart man. And yeah, I mean, Harry's got a bomb-ass Jeep too. Like, you wouldn't, if you got something nice, you just get something nice. If you take care of it, it'll last you for a long time, right? If you ever want a Lambo, you can always rent it. If you really want a Lambo that bad, then get the goddamn Lambo. But I mean, don't buy the Lambo if you have $250,000 to spend, and that's all you have is $250,000. Don't buy the fucking Lambo, because then you'll have $0 after, right? Use that $250,000 to make you more money. Matt W says, I refuse to have a fixed gear hipster mode and electric car. Yeah, it's going to be a strange. That's definitely going to be a strange change coming up soon. Because it's coming up soon to everybody. So Wade Emery says, so buy a new car and drive it the next day to a car lot and sell it. Yeah, guys, this might be the next way for all of us to make good money, is to go buy a fucking car and then sell it the next day. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Max Anita says, if the dollar value of your car goes down, but it still works good and gets you from point A to B, who cares? You're right. Who the fuck cares, man? Who the fuck cares? Rihanna Key says, I want a Bugatti. That is the ultimate Chad car. Bugattis are tight, dude. And you know what, Rihanna? Those are the one vehicles that will actually maintain their value, because, like, okay, so you buy a brand new Bugatti Veyron for like it's probably like $2 million now. It'll still be worth $2 million a couple years later, because obviously, quite frankly, you can't be driving those things regularly. Although I did see one drive literally down my street the other day, right in front of me, and I was like, why is that dude driving it in the street? I would never do that. But anyway, you'll be able to preserve your money with that. And a Bugatti Veyron is an actual asset. All right. It's a fun asset, but okay, guys. So back to the story at hand tonight, because I want to drive this home and I want you guys to get the point here. So we see what they're doing, right? I mean, obviously they can manipulate the gold market, and they can manipulate, because it's a paper market, right? Gold's price is based off of the paper market. Okay. Let's be realistic here. What are they doing with crypto? Specifically, they target Bitcoin, not because it's the number one. We all know why they target Bitcoin. That's the biggest one. It's got all the PR, right? Not only do they create massive amounts of FUD in the government, in the media. We had no telling Yellen, Jerome Powell. Oh God, I don't want to say her name because it makes me want to puke. Elizabeth Warren talking about how bad orange coin bad, guys, orange coin bad. And then what else? And obviously, the people who are in crypto, it's hard to get those fuckers out, because once you're in, you're in for a while, and you're in for a wild and crazy ride, and you usually end up having a lot of fucking fun. And, most likely making some good money if you do the right things. And so it's hard to get those people out. So what do they have to do? And what they've been doing, what's been happening recently, all right? So Bitcoin went all the way to $64,000. People took profits. Price jumped a little bit. We had some obvious coordinated FUD, all right? For the people out there who don't know what FUD means fear, uncertainty, and doubt, all right? We have news articles coming out every day. Bitcoin's really bad. This wealthy financial advisor says Bitcoin bad. One day later, same exact guy buys Bitcoin. Hey guys, I love Bitcoin. You guys didn't know? We have that thing repeat itself, right? We have the government, scare tactics happening. We had to kick that out of China, which is actually a good thing, by the way, that it's out of China, because China used to have like 60% of the hash power. But that's not enough. So what do? They send 80,000 Bitcoin on an open spot exchange to sell. The good thing about the blockchain, like I said before, is you can't hide from the blockchain. You can't cheat the blockchain. You can't steal the blockchain. So when they do that shit, we know, because it's so fucking obvious, because we can see the data, okay? We can see the data. Maybe they're too fucking dumb to know how blockchain works, all right? Maybe they need to go back to computer science 101 and learn about linked lists a little bit. Although blockchain is not the exact same thing as a linked list, but I think my coder guys get the point here. All right. So they're trying very hard to get people away from anything that's outside of their system, right? And why are they doing that? Because they're very afraid, guys. They are very afraid. The central banking system, the central banks, the crazy people, the pink purple polka dotted dinosaurs, whatever the fuck you want to call them, because everyone has all kinds of different names for these people. They're very afraid. They're afraid that they can't keep the control here, all right? But people are waking up, right? People are slowly waking up. Now, guys, I tell you guys all the time that I think that you can never underestimate the stupidity of the average normie, right? I mean, these people will believe anything that they're told, literally anything. They won't question anything. They won't go into that second gear of thinking, all right? Everything that they're told, they just suck in. The news says this: orange man bad. Okay, yes, orange man bad. Orange coin bad. Yes, orange coin bad. Fauci juice good. Yes, Fauci juice good. Give me more Fauci juice. Need more Fauci juice. All right. But I think people are starting to wake up, right? I mean, even some normies are starting to realize like something's not right. I think overall, there's a general sentiment of something is just not fucking right. All right. If I were to sit here and just explain all the things that made absolutely no sense that has happened in the last 48 months, I would explode. All right. There's so many small things, guys. Think about all the crazy stuff that has happened and we just forgot about. Everyone just forgets about. Think about John McAfee. That's just one thing, right? What about the good old EPSTINE? Whatever happened to that stuff? Whatever happened to those kids, right? Whatever happened to a lot of stuff? Whatever happened to the CRAB-19 being released from a specific country in the eastern part of the world? Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to some leaks? Whatever happened to email leaks? Whatever happened to that stuff? Maybe we just forget about all this stuff, right? Whatever happened to people of authority saying that masks are not needed and then thereafter contradicting themselves and saying that they're needed? What about people of authority saying that we don't have to worry about anything, this is not a huge concern for the country, and then immediately saying, oh my God, it's all on fire. You guys don't wear the diaper, it's all going to go to zero. Your life's going to zero, right? You got all these things that don't make sense. And if you just realize that these things just don't make sense, you begin to have a little bit more confidence in your beliefs. What do I believe? I believe this is a solution, right? And I'm not going to sit here and be a maximalist and tell you guys this is the only thing, right? That this is the only way out, right? But this is a way. It is a beautifully crafted way with both math and science and numbers. And you guys know how much I like how you guys know how much I like those numbers, right? It cannot be controlled. It cannot be controlled. You cannot lie to you. You cannot steal from you. You cannot cheat from you. All right. And I think that either a few things could happen. All right. Things could either get really bad because everyone's just going to acquiesce and allow them to do whatever they want to us, or people are just going to stop allowing their freedoms to be taken and stolen from them and start saying no, start stepping outside of their system. Now, maybe people are split up into different parts, but who knows what's going to happen, all right? I have a quote I want to read to you guys. Make sure I don't butcher this quote because I don't have it remembered. All right. So if anyone knows the Austrian-British economist Friedrich Hayek, right? He wrote a lot of economical books. He was kind of like an economical philosopher. He was kind of like the epitome of classical liberalism, right? So like actually wanting to be free. And here's something that he said in a book that he wrote in 1984. Quote, "I don't believe we shall ever have a good, sound money again before we take the thing out of the hands of the government. That is, we can't take them violently out of the hands of the government. All we can do is do it by some sly, roundabout way and introduce something that they can't stop." 1984. Huh. You guys let me know what you guys think he was talking about. Leave a comment if you're watching on the replay. Let me know. I think you guys know what I think he was talking about. Oh boy. Chick-fil-A Delivery says there's a 4-door Bugatti sedan being worked on. Really interesting. Mad W. I've always entered contests to win a new car with the intent to sell it right away. If I win, I'd rather have more cash. Cash equals money. Cash equals time equals freedom. Yes, indeed, baby. Very true. Sam Paczynski says, Chick-fil-A Delivery. I hope so. I hope so about the 4-door Bugatti. Me too. That'd be pretty sick. There's a 4-door Koenigsegg that does 1,200 horsepower. I think it's electric, isn't it, Brownie Keys? I think I've seen it, actually. Crypto Degens unite. Yes, indeed, my friends. We must unite. Silence. Bigot. Mr. Biden will unite us and save us from the orange man. Shh. Chick-fil-A Delivery says, next gen Ford Mustang will be offered with either a 500 horsepower V8, hybrid option, and or all electric. I heard that. I don't know why they would do all the above. To me, it would just make sense to do just like a full-on hybrid or just a full-on electric. Max Ignitas says an NPC voice downloading belief system V1.3.6. Mr. Fauci, give me the juice, says Matt W. Best part is that FACCII is the guy who funded the research that created the CRAB-19 in a facility in the Bat City. Indeed, guys. Grano Keeves says, what year do you think all this control and subversion started in America? Dude, probably like back in the 1970s, man, to be completely honest with you. Probably way back then. And we all know what happened in 1971, right? You guys remember what happened in 1971? Do I need to say it? Probably pre-1900s, to be honest. Okay, actually... So the central bank has been kicked out of the country twice already. I don't know who kicked them out the first time, or I can't recall who kicked them out the first time. But we know that Andrew Jackson kicked them out the second time, right? And then they came back around the 1930s, which ended up what happened around the 1930s, guys. Right? And now they've been here since then. So probably around, Cody might be right, pre-1900s, man. It takes time to get these fuckers into your system. And it takes time to get rid of them too, right? And honestly, guys, the same cycle is repeated. I've talked about this in the previous podcast. The same cycle is repeated throughout history over and over again. And so let's just say, we put the monetary policy into people's hands, into a technology that's programmed to do a better job than human ever could. And then they go away. We're not controlled by the central bank anymore. We have true unlimited freedom. We have true prosperity. We have an economy that people have never seen before. So good that people can't believe it's true. Literally can't believe it's true. It's so good. And then, maybe we're fine for 100 years. People forget about it. And then boom, they come right back. Well, I could definitely see that happening. They'll come right back and the problem will happen again. You know, that's how our history has gone, Cody. Maybe not at this level, but it's been in the works for over 100 years. Yeah, I mean, it takes time, right? Heterozygous is prior to World War I. Andrew Jackson was the second time they removed. Andrew Jackson was the second person to remove the central banks from America, but they were there before. They came back when he was a president, and he like basically immediately removed them. We forgot that the Great Depression in the early 1900s was manufactured by financial tyrants, tycoons as well. Yep. See the cycle repeating itself, right? Chick-fil-A delivery. Hard times create tough men. Tough men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. Hard times create decentralization, right? Federal Reserve Act was 1913. Yep. We need more men like good old Hickory. Paper assets were greatly manipulated. Yep. 1900s. Claybuster says, late 1800s with bankers and stock exchanges worked together, accumulating of significant wealth by a few. High gear engaged in the 1960s with removal of Kennedy's MLK. Yep. Sam Perchitsky says 1913 was also when the federal income tax was instituted. Thanks, Wilson. Yeah. Yep. All right, guys. I hope you guys understood what I was talking about tonight, because we had to go through some back alleyway things to mention what was going on. But you guys have been warned. All right? Don't expect this to go away. And the good thing about our friend up here is that this is an escape vector, all right? This is a direct protest. For every dollar that you put into this guy, just like the picture, all right? Just like the picture, the dollar's going in his mouth. For every dollar that you put into this guy, it's a direct protest. It's a direct protest to them, and it's one step out of their system, all right? Don't expect this to go away again. We all know some crazy shit's about to come down, right? I mean, I'm just going to call it. Like, they're going to do. I don't think CRAB-19 stage 2 is going to work. All right, they're going to have to do something else, like even worse. They're going to have to do like, CYBRATTACK or something that they have to blame all these problems on, because people are going to start wondering why. All right, people are going to start wondering why prices are through the roof and why their money is worthless. And when the government can't explain, when the government can't give them a solid explanation, they're going to have to create one, right? So that's all I got for the night, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Show me some love. Hope you guys learned something, and I will have another topic, and I'll see you guys on Friday.
Don Pitaga.
No!
And the
Bonjour, gentlemen.
Lord Bogdanov, CRAB-19 was a stunning success.
Ce Swinberg Lundberg t'impressionne? Un crabe se vendit, moise ouverte? Mr. Rothschild?
Forgive me, my lord.
Continue with the plan. Do not disappoint me. And garnish his richesse. Mr. McDonald.
I'm loaded.
Good. C'est tout.